Hey guys, I'm Rodrigo Rojas, and welcome to the Afterlife. Last week, my friend Luke and I were lucky enough to have Dalen Spratt of Ghost Brothers as our very first guest on our podcast. We discussed his YouTube series, The Graveyard Shift. Hope you all enjoyed the interview. Hey Dalen, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
We really
thanks for being here.
For sure.
So if we seem a little, on edge, you're our first interview, so don't mind us.
No, that's cool, man. It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege.
Yeah, thank you. We've done a couple of podcasts, live stuff, but our first interview. So, my name is Rodrigo. My mama, she calls me Dre, though.
Gotcha.
And this is
I'm Luke.
godson.
I'm his godson.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
solid, man. Solid. That's solid, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
What's the name of the show?
Yeah, so actually, our show is called The Afterlife. That's kind of what we're working on for our podcast. And our name is the Paranormal Society. So we're kind of trying to get started, do a couple podcasts, some interviews. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of get rolling from there. But actually, before we get started, I have a couple people that wanted to say hi to you real quick.
Solid.
So
hi, Dalen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm his older sister. I'm Rosie, and this is our mama, Grace.
Hey, Mama Grace. How are you doing?
Mama Grace got a picture from the Ghost Brothers.
You have one of our pictures. That's cool. I'm glad you were able to get it.
Yes. Thank you.
That's cool. No, well, thank you guys. I hope I get to meet y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And my sister's the one that gave us the tip for when you said you're doing interviews. So
see, it's good to have family members that look out for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, when I first saw Ghost Brothers, I was about maybe 11 or 12, and I was watching Destination America, and I remember I saw the trailer for you guys, and I remember thinking it was like something I'd never seen before because you guys brought that sort of comedic aspect of the ghost hunting genre. So,
yeah. Wait, how old are you now? When you was 11.
Yeah, I'm actually turning 23 next month.
Hey man, we ain't been around that long, man. You wasn't 11 when you saw it.
Okay.
But, yeah, we came out in like 2016, man. That's when the show started. And it's been a interesting and entertaining ride ever since, for sure.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Okay, well, that being said, let's go ahead and dive into some interview questions. So,
for sure.
The first question is, what got you started into ghost hunting, and did you have any sort of experiences as a kid that kind of made you think, I want to be a ghost hunter? How did that all come into play?
Yeah, it's funny, man. I never had an interest in paranormal, ghost hunting, any of that. I didn't even really know it was a thing. For real. Me and Jawan were college roommates at the time. And we had just graduated. We were still roommates. Mm-hmm. We met in college because we pledged the same fraternity together.
Oh wow.
And so we were doing wardrobe. So we started right out of college. We started a company that did tailored men's suits for television, film projects, personal clientels, weddings. Mm-hmm. And we both ended up working for BET on the Monique show doing wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
So literally every day we're just watching them make TV shows. It was like it was literally working on a daytime talk show every single day. And I remember waking up one night and one of the ghost hunting shows was on television. I can't remember what it was at the time, like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, something like that. And I just remember thinking to myself, I've never seen anyone that looked like me on any of these shows. I've never seen any black people. I've never seen any minorities, young minorities. Everybody was older white guys.
Yeah.
And I was just curious to why that was. And so we stepped out there and just tried it ourselves.
No, definitely, and we're glad you did. I mean, because like I said, all the other shows have that sort of like a really serious tone to them, and but you guys like brought that sort of that comical aspect, like I said, and that just kind of like I think draws in a whole entire new audience.
Yeah, and to be honest, that humor element wasn't even on purpose.
Oh,
like
really?
it just came naturally with with us doing something that we have never done before, and you being genuinely with your best friends. Like most shows, they force relationships, they build casts.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll take this guy, that girl, build a team, create a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
We were literally three best friends sitting around the house that got a TV show.
Yeah.
So it's just like the best thing ever when, the people you're working with are your genuine friends in real life.
No, absolutely. No.
And so do you think the unscripted aspect of it contributed to the popularity of the show?
Yeah, 100%. Because with it being unscripted, we rely heavily on our personalities, and that's something that can't be duplicated or replicated. You know what I mean? So that our personality is something that shined through, and I think it's what garnered a lot of supporters. So we've been approached by other television shows that are like, I mean, we're funny. They don't just let us show our funny in the show. They let y'all be funny, but they don't let us be funny. And I'm just like, hey, that's our personality, bro. We can't be nothing other than what we're doing.
Right, exactly. It's like if you love what you're doing. Yeah, okay. Now, did you have anything happen to you, like as a kid growing up, that maybe you saw any ghosts or like anything like that, or is that kind of like a more recent thing?
No, I mean, I had a couple experiences when I was little that kind of stuck around. But I think the most significant, which was probably the catalyst to all of my thoughts, were when I was like 7 or 8, I went to visit my grandmother. She stayed in a small West Texas town where everybody knew everyone. And while I was there, I had an older cousin, and she had a best friend, and her best friend was dating a guy, and the guy and her ended up getting in a domestic dispute, and he got a gun, he shot himself, and he shot her.
Oh, wow.
So my cousin's friend ended up surviving, and the guy that shot her and himself, he ended up dying. But mind you, everybody knows everybody in this town. So when it came time for his wake and to view the body, my grandmother and her friend, chose to go view the body. But they took me with them at 7. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. And I remember walking into the church, man, and seeing this casket at the front of the church. And then laying there was this young man wearing like this light gray suit, a white shirt, and a thin black tie. I remember my grandmother's friend just asked me at 7 years old, she was like, Dalen, have you ever touched a dead body before?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lady. That's what I do in my spare time. No, this lady grabbed my hand and put it on the chest of the young man laying in the casket.
Oh, wow.
I was terrified. I literally ran out of the church screaming. And it was that night, I was at my grandmother's house, sleep on the couch in the living room. And I woke up like around 3 a.m. And I remember looking in the kitchen, and standing in the doorway was that same young man with the light gray jacket, white shirt, thin black tie. And he was just staring. It was like this. There was nothing behind the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it's
there was
emotionless.
no life.
Yeah.
It was emotionless. Exactly, bro. But he was just staring. And I remember just screaming. And my grandmother came in the room, grabbed me, and I just pointed, and she looked, and nothing was there.
Wow.
Like nothing was there.
Wow.
And yeah, I just always remember that happening, and it just always stuck with me.
Wow.
What do you think that was? Was that maybe his spirit, his soul, or...
Man, now that I've been doing the show for the past 6 years, not 30 years, like y'all made it out early. I understand what an attachment is. Like, I understand that attachments are real. You know what I mean? And by me touching that body, no telling the energy, the fear, the emotion, like no telling what was transferred and what was attached or brought along.
Definitely.
Or it could have just been something that maybe could have possibly just been in that house
previously.
You know what I'm saying? That took it as an opportunity to present itself. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Now that kind of follows into the next question here. So, your mom is a pastor.
Yep.
And
she's been. Yep.
How has that affected your paranormal investigating? Like, have you ever had people from the church tell you shouldn't be doing it? Certain things you do
not
or
necessarily
do not do.
People from the church, man. My mom has she's been on my side, man, since day one. Like, she's the type of mother, if I told her I wanted to be an astronaut, she would have went outside and built me a spaceship. Like, she's that type of person. And so she's always rocked with me, man. I remember we had a real conversation probably after season 2 of Ghost Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, Mama, you know why people love Ghost Brothers? And she was like, why, baby? And I was like, because we don't know what we're doing. And she looked at me. She didn't laugh. She didn't smile. She looked me right in my eyes and said, you're right. Because if you really knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be doing it. And she just walked off.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. Like, that wasn't my mom talking. That was like Pastor Spratt.
Yeah.
Like, telling me like how she really felt about it, man. And that's always stuck with me. But she supports it. Like, I feel like her prayers and my belief keeps me safe. Like, I feel like my belief in God and trust in God outweighs my fear of attachments or anything that could, potentially do me harm.
Absolutely.
Okay, so your newest series, I believe, on YouTube, The Graveyard Shift, what inspired you to do that? Start it up.
Yeah, man, honestly, with television, everything works in cycles. So, like, right now, if you're looking at Travel Channel, Discovery Plus, Kindred Spirits and I want to say Destination Fear are airing right now. Like, that's the cycle. So you have to wait in line. So after them, it's probably, maybe Ghost Hunters or something. Everybody has their premieres and you have to wait in line till it's your turn again. Then it just feels like it's a lot of time in between our series. And, our supporters want to see more of us working out in the paranormal and flexing our paranormal muscle. And so I just thought to myself, what would be something cool that I could keep doing in my spare time that doesn't intrude on my time? And, anybody that does paranormal investigating in their spare time, you realize that it can get expensive, paying to go to locations, renting locations, all of that type of stuff. So I was trying to find what could I do to cut the potential of me spending a lot of money trying to keep up a side project. And I was like, graveyards, like, literally they're everywhere. Like, there's thousands in every city. Thousands. And they're free to get into. And nobody's really ever in them. You know what I mean? So this is like the perfect place for me to film myself by myself.
And do you have future plans for any new series, or are you going to just keep focusing on this one?
No, man. See, I like where your head is, Hawk Jamming. You got your name, Hawk Jamming. I love it. No, the plan is to grow my YouTube channel, man. I want it to be like one big network. The same way you can go on Travel Channel or Discovery Plus and view all this paranormal content. I want you to be able to come to Dalen Spratt's YouTube page and view a slew of paranormal content just starring me and my friends and family. So, like, we start with the Graveyard Shift. Me and my wife, we have a series called Ghosted or Roasted. And that's where we sit down and we review videos on the internet and we talk shit and just decide if we feel like they're real or if they're fake. And I want to come up with like 2 or 3 more series, man. I think I'm going to come up with one where I start staying overnight somewhere, like 24 hours in a location. So maybe like either a hotel, a haunted location, just 24 hours in a haunted location. I think that's going to be another series that I start real soon.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds great. I mean, like, if you needed a haunted location, we're actually at the family restaurant right now, which is, kind of haunted. So if you're ever back out in California,
okay, for sure.
So,
what part of California are you guys in?
So we're actually in Fraser Park. So it's actually in between Bakersfield, California, and Los Angeles. So
Got
from
you.
Los Angeles, we're about 70 or so miles, like about an hour and a half. So,
Got you.
but yeah, it's a little like mountain, like pioneer kind of town. So, so a
Got you.
lot of
Got you.
history.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
solid.
so what are your thoughts on Rosemary and Mary Ellen?
Honestly, man, I've had mixed emotions about them. Like, it's been times where I felt like someone has said that their intentions weren't good. And I feel like there's been times where they've come through as like protectors or guardians. For whatever reason, they've been following us from cemetery to cemetery. But I kind of feel like they're on our side. I'm going to do a neutral investigation really soon. So probably go to just an open field, not necessarily a cemetery or graveyard, and see if we can get in contact solely with Rosemary or Mary Ellen.
Oh, well, we look forward to hearing that one.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
Yeah, right. Get down to the bottom of some answers, man. See who these two women are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were trying to do a broad search, and nothing was quite coming up. So that's why we thought, well, maybe Dalen. Well, obviously, he'd have a better idea since he encounters them. So.
Yeah. I have no idea. Like, I'm curious. Like, I've had mediums that watch the show tell me that they're my spirit guide or my guardian angel or someone that's watching over us. So again, like I said, the weather it's raining out here in Atlanta all week, man. I'm waiting for it to clear up. As soon as it does, that's what I want to do. I kind of want to do that. Like, who are they? Who is Rosemary?
Yeah.
Mary Ellen?
Definitely. And just so you know, we're just about 15 minutes in. How are you for time, Dalen?
I probably can do about 5 more minutes, and then I can. Yeah, that about works.
Awesome. Just want to make sure we don't use up too much of your time. For sure. Okay. Now, Luke, I think you had a question.
So since you started investigating, do you feel as though your I don't know what you would call them, like paranormal senses have improved?
100%, man. I feel like it's just like any other muscle that you work out. It gets stronger over time, and just like any other thing, with more practice, you get better at it. And I think that with your interest, as your interest grows, you get better at it. So for sure, even with the spirit box that I use, I think I've used it so much now that like I can operate it and use it and like get great responses all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare that I pull it out and the conversation doesn't go somewhere. So yeah, I definitely feel like over time and just with experience, your senses definitely pick up to it.
Definitely. And that kind of leads into our next question here. So where do you get your equipment? Like, do you just kind of go online and search like paranormal, tools, equipment?
Yeah. I went in the app store and I typed in ghost hunting, and that was like the first app that popped up for the spirit box. Yeah, years ago, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Because when we first started, man, people talked so much crap about us using apps, using spirit box apps. Nobody was using apps on your phone when we came into the field. And we were the first to like bring out apps on television, and then like everybody, we got cursed out, called names. Wow. Oh man, people hated us for it. But now it's like convenient, and everybody uses stuff like that. So it's cool. It's cool to be a trendsetter in that regard.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what would you recommend to some up and coming paranormal investigators? Are there any kind of do's or do nots, like sort of like equipment to use, anything like that?
My advice for anyone that's coming up in the paranormal game, man, is just genuinely just focus on yourself and not everybody else. Like, I hear a lot of people get frustrated in the paranormal community because there's a lot of competition, a lot of people discrediting others. Just focus on your own journey and put your story out there. Open up a YouTube page, use social media, put your content out there, and just grow organically. Over time, your audience will grow. Everybody feels like they need a TV show. And I know that's funny coming from the guy with a TV show. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of restrictions when you shoot television. Like, you have way more freedom shooting your content on your own. It just may take a lot longer to grow organically. But I mean, it could be way worth it in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Having more creative freedom when you just upload on YouTube.
Way more creative freedom. Way more. I mean, like night, day, way more.
Wow.
That's why I enjoyed the graveyard shift, because I can literally get up right now and go to some cemetery and shoot a whole episode and do whatever I want, whatever crazy idea I have, and upload tonight if I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not have to worry about, calling for permission or anything. Yeah.
Nothing. Like I have an episode with Lee Harvey Oswald, and I illegally, allegedly filmed inside of the 6th floor museum, the book depository building where he allegedly took the shot from. And not allowed to film there. And had I was on television, they probably wouldn't allow me to film there. But because it's Dalen's YouTube, I broke the law, baby.
And then you got all your supporters to help you out there, so to advocate for you.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dalen, for your time. We really appreciate today.
No, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And, at some point in the future, we'd love to work with you again. If you'd like to do like an interview, maybe you could do like a longer podcast, maybe with all the Ghost Brothers.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I will definitely. Yeah, man, I'll do my best. I'll get the guys to do a session, man. So yeah, just reach back out to me in the next few weeks or so, and I'll see if I can get them on. But I definitely appreciate y'all, and best of luck and blessings on your podcast.
Thank
and
you
your
so
beautiful
much.
family. I appreciate y'all supporting me.
Ghost Brothers, ghosting out.
I love it. I hope I get to meet y'all soon.
Yes, thank you.
I'm your wife and baby, too.
Oh, thank you. They're doing good. They're upstairs now. That's where I'm about to go feed them now. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dalen.
Bye, Dalen.
Take
No
care.
problem. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey guys, Luke here, also known as Hawk Jammin'. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. You can find Dalen at Dalen Spratt on YouTube and Instagram. He releases the Graveyard Shift every Friday, so be sure to catch that. Once again, thank you, and we'll catch you next time.